let's keep talking about Husker athletics. And you had this great run with football, but also really proud. And another great dynastic run that we had was in baseball. And you got to play a big role with that. I want to show a photo here from, tell us a little bit about this photo and tell us a little bit about that run and that time frame that you were working with the baseball team.
That photo was taken just about a month ago. That is the 20th reunion of the 01 and the 02 Husker baseball team. And there's my boy, Jeff Schmall, again, hooking me up back in the day, just the turn of the century where Husker baseball was just starting to take off with Dave Van Horn at the helm. And I got to meet I look at these faces and it's like some of the coolest dudes you ever want to be around. They just happen to be great baseball players. You know, they were just good guys in real life. And in 01, as you'll recall, we got to shut down the Buck Beltzer Field in a delightfully amazing way with beating Rice and going to the College World Series for the first time. And oh my gosh, Matt, it was like I got to travel. I was the team videographer. And I went approximately 14,000 miles with these guys. I was like a 35-year-old acting like a senior in college. I was like a 14th year senior, give or take. And it was like, I hopped on the bus and I could sit in any of the seats with these guys and just hear their stories. And I loved baseball. I loved Husker baseball. And just to watch that magical journey to the College World Series. And then we came back in 02 and opened up Hawks Field. And so I got the bookends right there at the end of the Buck and the beginning of Haymarket Park, and getting to go to the College World Series with guys.
Back to back, right?
Back to back. And we had a good thing going on. And just, I mean, I'm the video guy and I'm warming up and throwing and, taking batting practice and living my best life, man. It was quite a journey.
Well, think about Bill Byrne there. You mentioned earlier talking about Husker Vision, kind of the visionary that he was, but how about baseball? I can very clearly remember it was towards the mid to late 90s. We're just joining the Big 12. We weren't a great baseball program in the Big 8. And now all of a sudden we're taking on 4 Texas schools, and Iowa State drops baseball. And there was kind of a point. It was like, when John Sanders is getting let go, do we just end this thing and just dedicate our resources to other sports? I mean, Buck Beltzer's a horrible facility, all that, and the foresight on Byrne to go out and hire this guy from like Northeast Louisiana. Was that where Van Horn was from, to get Van Horn to come up here? And then almost instantaneous success, really. I think by year 2, we were winning the conference tournament. And then all of a sudden, what's so funny with Husker fans is how quickly, and I love this about Husker fans, how quickly the expectations change. I mean, I didn't know what a baseball regional was until I was 20 years old. And then all of a sudden, it just took a couple years in a row. And it's like, we better make this every year. Oh, wait, we better go to the super regional. Oh, wait, College World Series are now, kind of starting to become a standard.
Yeah. What? We aren't hosting a super regional? That's what we do. Even though, 3 years before, we didn't know what one was.
But we didn't know we were allowed in, at least.
DVH, he was the man. I mean, he still is at Arkansas. It's not as much fun now, but he was the man. And Rob Childress and Mike Anderson, Kevin Cook, that was made this team. It was just like the stars aligned and got these guys. And they had this incredible ability to evaluate talent, because everybody was 5'9", 170. You couldn't see them walking off the bus. You had to know there's heart and there was soul and there was skills. And it was like just getting to know them. You wouldn't think that these are fearless dudes that'll battle. And it was just like inspiring to watch these guys all the time and just win and win. And Shane Comine, what a stud on the field and off. And what an advantage it is to win every Friday night. Just knowing that you're starting the series with a W, it was huge. And I was along for the ride, and it was glorious.
Oh, yeah. I remember one of the regionals, or maybe it was a super regional, where he pitched on Friday and then came back and through a few innings even on Sunday, helping close a game and getting us to move on. You mentioned Van Horn and you mentioned Anderson and Childress, and in this photo here, fourth from the left on the bottom, there's a very familiar face to Husker baseball fans today, and one of those 5'9", 160 kids you're talking about, Will Bolt. Any memories of him from his playing days, the early on time?
Yeah. Willie B was a young DVH. You knew he was intense. He came out of Conroe, Texas, and he was ready to play. And Will, I don't think this surprised anybody who's ever known him that he was going to be a coach, and he was going to be a high-level, awesome coach too, because I don't remember him ever goofing around or being, he was fun-loving when the time was right, but he got after it, and he was a leader on that team like nobody else. And so I'm so thrilled that Will has had success already, and I can't wait for the next decade with him, because it feels like some regionals and super regionals are going to come back to Lincoln one of these days, and Willie B will be the one leading the way.
Yeah. This year they had a down year, but I remember him saying at the end, it's like, he's never had a season like this before. And he's not going to love this either. So, and there's a part, we talked earlier about football and how great it was when we were in that kind of era. And I always feel for the young Redcasters out there that have just not had a chance to experience it yet. Because when football was at its best, man, that is, and can we get back to any semblance of that? I absolutely, every fiber in my body believes that we can, and I really hope we do. And when it is like that, it's so much fun. Baseball, man, the same way. When this time of year means something every year again, when you got a pit in your stomach in June and all the way through, and then when we see the sea of red make it to Omaha, holy smokes! I mean, that's just, it seems so inconceivable because it's been a while now, but that's why I love getting a guy like Bolt back here, and I just think he really does have that Van Horn kind of philosophy down to how do you build the program and do everything. I mean, right guy.
Yeah, there's a really good chance that at 8:37 on Wednesday night, he's doing something that has to do with making his next Husker baseball team better. That guy will work tirelessly to make sure that he does not have another losing season. I believe it with every fiber of my being too. I know Husker baseball will be back, and it'll be sooner than later.